I'm waiting a few seconds to give more people time to join me, but it's not critical. It's lunchtime where I'm at, so it's lunchtime where a lot of my Facebook friends are too. But I'll go ahead and get started. The first thing I wanted to do was to encourage you guys to enter a challenge. It's a 30-day challenge, and it's sponsored by my friend Dean Graziosi, and he calls it the Better Life Challenge. The idea behind the challenge is that improving your life dramatically often isn't about making major changes at one time. It's about making a lot of tiny improvements, and just it's like a continuous improvements, basically. And so in the 30-day challenge, every day he presents you with a video that's usually no more than 1.5 to 2 minutes long, and it issues a challenge to you for that day, and you just do the challenge, and by the end of 30 days, you will develop 30 new habits or 30 new little changes in your thought processes, and those things should improve your life. And so I'm taking the challenge. Lots of other people are taking the challenge. To make it more fun, he's giving away a car. He's giving away his, what does it say? I'm reading my notes again. So Tesla P85D. He's giving away that Tesla P85D, which cost him $128,000, and he's giving it away to an extent because he doesn't need it anymore. He does quite well with what he does. In fact, he has been teaching people for over 20 years now, and his top mentoring program or coaching program is $200,000 per year. So that gives you some idea of how good he is, how effective he is. And so I'm going to encourage you to enter his giveaway because he's teaching you little things that will improve your life, just little day-by-day changes. And so I'm going to give you the URL to enter that challenge. And at the end of the challenge, he is going to be giving away his $128,000 Tesla. So a nice car, and I'd like to have it actually. And speaking of Dean, on Tuesday of next week, which is April 30th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Dean's getting together with Tony Robbins and with Russell Brunson, and they're hosting a live webcast. And on the live webcast, they've titled it, How to Turn What You Already Know into Income by Tapping into the $128 billion information business without writing a book or creating a course. And so they're going to actually teach on the webcast, and they deliver tremendous value. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, you're missing out big. Tony's been a motivational speaker for over 40 years now. He was mentored by Jim Rohn initially, and so he goes way, way back. And Dean first started studying under Tony, and so Tony mentored Dean, and now they're working together, and Russell Brunson sort of hangs out with both of them somehow. And so the webcast is free. I do encourage you to go ahead and register for it. It's Tuesday of next week, but if you don't register now, you're likely to forget about it. So I'm going to give you the link to sign up for that in the chat box too. So that is the second link I posted there. And I just basically had 4 or 5 things I wanted to run down with you. The next one is Tuesday is Tony and Dean and Russell's webcast. On Wednesday, I'm working with a health and fitness expert, a health and wellness expert, who's been in the industry for over 30 years. And we're putting on a webinar, a teaching session at 8 p.m. on 8 p.m. Eastern on May 1st. And we've titled that Living a Longer, Healthier, Disease-Free, More Fulfilling Life. And on that broadcast, we're gonna run down like how to live healthier, basically, and longer, with less stress, all from a holistic approach. And so some of the things we'll cover is, and I'm glancing my notes again, is what is the absolute best diet for you? Okay, everybody looks at all these different types of diets out there, and they wonder, well, what's the best diet? So we're going to address that issue. How to deal with the leading causes of cancer. Cancer is a major killer in this world, in the industrialized world, and not actually worldwide, but in the industrialized world, it's increasing at an alarming rate. So we'll look at that. Look at how to diet without it feeling like you're denying yourself something. You know, what we believe in is that, you know, you make incremental changes. You don't do those things that you know are really, really bad for you, but it's okay to eat whatever you want in moderation, actually. So we're gonna look at that, though. What is the best diet for you? And, you know, there is an answer to that question. Then we'll look at how do you exercise without it feeling like work, like you're you know, going, like you're spending hours and hours and hours in the gym. And so we're going to look at that. And I work out every day, have for probably the last 20 years. And I've studied the martial arts for 40 years. So I get my exercise in, but it doesn't feel like work. I look forward to my workouts every day. And part of my workouts out in nature where it's just, it re-energizes you and things like that. So we'll look at that, though. And we'll look at preventative and holistic approach that actually minimize your chance of even getting cancer in the first place. Okay, we'll look at that. We'll look at how to avoid or minimize the likelihood of you getting type 2 diabetes, how to minimize the chances of you developing high blood pressure, and then if you or a loved one already have some of these health issues, we'll look at, you know, how do you regain control of your life? How do you minimize the effect or the impact of that on you? And then we'll look at, you know, how do you lose weight? How do you get back in shape? How do you avoid, you know, ending up, you know, carrying around an oxygen bottle or in a home or whatever, you know. We'll look at that. And there are things you can do now that minimizes the chance of you ending up in that situation. So this is the third link is a link to register for that webinar, which will begin on Wednesday, May 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be around afterwards to answer questions, so bring your questions. We'll stay as long as you need us to. And the fourth thing is I want to encourage you to join a private Facebook group I have. The group I formed to share with people what I'm doing to prepare for retirement. For example, I plan on retiring within the next year or so, and I want a very comfortable retirement, and I want to have enough money to live on, to travel, to give to causes, charitable causes I care about, things like that. So I don't want it to be a struggle. And in fact, I'm right now implementing a plan that will give me a minimum of like $90,000 a month in residual income. So inside my private group, I share things like that. I share how I buy many things for pennies on the dollar, how I get 36% interest on my investments. So I'll share things like that and a lot of other things. So to join that group, the fourth link I'm going to drop into the chat window is the URL for that group. And it's a private Facebook group, which means you need to go and request that you be added. And since it's my private Facebook group, I decide who will be added. And I or an admin. And so, you know, don't feel bad if I don't add you, but the idea is to control the energy within the group. So I don't want a bunch of negative people. I don't want a bunch of spammers. I allow you to discuss things that you think will help other group members, but I don't want you spamming the group. You're not constantly posting your opportunities and things like that. That's not the purpose of the group. The purpose of the group is for me largely to teach within the group, but there are a lot of other experts in the group who have a lot more things to share more noteworthy things to share than I do. So the group's called Total Freedom. I've dropped the link in there into the chat window. And with that, I've gone for 10 and a half minutes already. I don't want to ramble too long because it's lunchtime and I need to go to lunch myself. So I'll see you guys around. Go ahead and take action on those things I encourage you to do today. Thanks a lot for listening. I'll see you later.